Hello everyone and welcome back to The Blurb. On tonight's episode, we'll find out the Harvey Weinstein verdict.
Yes, and on a much lighter note, which NBA player is going to become a rapper?
It's all here tonight on the episode of What's Making Kent Feel Like Hollywood. This is The Blurb. Welcome to The Blurb. I'm Gianna Dupre.
And I'm Michaela Wilson.
We have a lot in store for you today, so let's get straight into it. There is a time when all good things come to an end, and it looks like an SNL star might be reaching that point. Pete Davidson's days at SNL are looking like they're on the way out. In an interview with The Breakfast Club, Pete says in 5 years he wants to have a family and produce his own shows. He says he wants to leave, quite frankly, because he just gets made fun of. Of course, he knows that's how the show works, but he can't tell if the team is on his side or if they're not. Despite the bad news, Davidson's new Netflix stand-up show, Alive in New York, came out today and is already a buzz. And the one where they all got back together is finally a go. Friends Reunion 2020 is really happening, and I couldn't be more excited about it. Maybe even the most excited. These guys are really bringing it back, including all 6 main characters and the same producers and even the same set. The show will be airing on HBO new streaming service called HBO Max, which does not have an official release date, but is known that it will be in sometime in May. All I have to say is I better see Rachel Green hairstyle come back.
Former film producer Harvey Weinstein has officially become convicted of a criminal sex act in the 1st degree as well as rape in the 3rd degree. He faces a sentence of 5 to 25 years for the most serious charge. This verdict follows a long road for the survivors, the case, and it marks a turning point in the Me Too movement. With the bravery displayed by women in this case and the clear message of a guilty conviction for such an influential man, it is clear that the Me Too movement is going nowhere. Watch out, because there's a new singer in town, and her name is Charlotte Aubrey. In a game of Finish the Lyric, of Shallow by Lady Gaga. Here's the clip so you can see yourself just how shocking the performance was.
Finish the lyrics. Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world?
Or do you need more?
Wow. Keep going.
So hardcore.
Wow, you're really good. Keep going.
I'm off the deep end. Watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground.
Wow.
Crash through the surface where they can't hurt us. We fall from the shallow now.
Okay. Cara Delevingne slammed Justin Bieber on Instagram after he ranked Hailey's friends on a game of Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts with James Corden. Bieber ranked Cara last compared to Kendall Jenner and Gigi Hadid. Cara posted on Instagram pictures of her with Justin with the caption, "Now versus then." If you have nothing against me, then why don't you unblock me? Neither Justin nor Hailey have responded to the post.
And along with that, the widow of Kobe Bryant is suing the helicopter company for the death of her husband and child. Sources say Vanessa Bryant filed a wrongful death lawsuit yesterday, saying the pilot was carelessly and negligent flying in cloudy conditions. He's being sued in 8 different ways, including failing to properly assess the weather, flying into conditions he was not cleared for, and failing to control the helicopter. And officials say there was no sign of mechanical failure in the helicopter. And And we all know him as record-breaking Miami basketball star, but did we know he had another talent? Barely. Dwayne Wade has made a rap song, and it has people feeling some type of way. The Miami player released the song Season Ticket Holder Friday on Rick Ross's album. This came before his big debut at the American Airlines Arena, where his jersey was retired on Saturday, and his documentary, Life Unexpected, came out on Sunday. Reports say Wade took a while to get the song together, and they started recording back in January of 2019 and needed to take multiple takes.
Recently, a video was posted of a 9-year-old, Quaden Bales, where he stated he wanted to die. This all stemmed from bullying in his school. People from all over, including celebrities, have reached out and have raised over $300,000 to help him go to Disneyland and other expenses. However, some accuse the 9-year-old of actually being 18 years old, even going as far as saying it was a scam for money. Rumors were cleared up as a video of the child and mother showed up where Quaden was 4 years old 5 years ago. But yes, he still will be going to Disneyland. And Donald Trump has long loathed the Academy Awards, but he took it to another level during one of his rallies. Trump addressed his concerns with the Parasite winning Best Picture by saying, "And the winner is a movie from South Korea. What the hell was all that all about?" The best part about this, Trump has never even seen Parasite. So does he really have room to talk?
And did you hear Tana and Logan Paul are dating? As a joke. They fooled everyone with the Instagram post and Snapchat videos and even a YouTube video. Logan Paul said it would be funny to prank the internet for a day, so they did. They went on a date in Beverly Hills, shared a cheek kiss, and even posted a video captioning, "Dating my brother's ex-girlfriend." But I can only imagine what Jake Paul was thinking when he first saw those pictures. Anyways, it was all a joke and nothing was real, as per usual. And a public memorial service made history at the Staples Center in California for the one and only Kobe Bryant. The celebration of life ceremony had a sold-out crowd at the place the basketball legend played most of his career. Many celebrities, friends, family, and fans were all in the arena, along with performances including Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, and Alicia Keys. Vanessa Bryant spoke on about her husband and daughter, and she described their love together, the love of her daughter, and how Kobe and Gianna were two peas in a pod. It was an emotional-filled day, and not a dry eye was in the room.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. That's right. Talks of an office reunion have come up once again, and this time it's coming from Jim Halpert himself. Before you get your hopes up, the chances of said reunion have been hinted at before, and we still yet to see one. On the bright side, though, John Krasinski says he's absolutely down to do a reunion, and he's not the only one. Maybe not soon, but hopefully we get to see Dunder Mifflin's finest once again. Up next, we're counting down the top influential female black artists. Don't go anywhere.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
All month, we have been appreciating the history and the future of Black History Month. And with it being the last week of February, I wanted to show appreciation to the inspirational, influential, female game changers of the music industry. These iconic women have laid the foundation for so many future artists and have opened the doors for Black artists of any genre to have a chance to shine in the limelight. So I got a top 5 for you. So we are going to start with Normani. Yes, so she, I think, is leading the way for new Black artists to come in, and she's growing that spotlight already in the short time that she has. But we have to talk about, she did start out with Fifth Harmony from the X Factor, and Demi Lovato did make that group. So, you know, Queen knows what she's doing. But Little Mix is better than Fifth Harmony, just wanted to point that out. Anyways, Normani was always my favorite person in the group because I thought she was so authentic. And, you know, from a toxic group setting, Normani was able to shine out of that, and she's one of the biggest stars that came out of that group, and I am so proud of her and everything that she's gone through. And that collab with Sam Smith, it really set her star power up. And she's coming up with a new album, and you know, that album better come out quick because she said last year that it was coming out in 6 months, so hurry up, Normani. But now we're going to move on to the one and only Nicki Minaj. That's right, she is the real first mainstream female Black rapper since Lauryn Hill, and sis needs that #1. I mean, come on, we have Anaconda, we have Starship, Super Bass. My personal favorite, Woman Like Me with Little Mix. Oh, I have to keep mentioning Little Mix. I am so sorry, but you know what, whatever. So, I always believe that Nicki Minaj stands up for what she believes, and she has Queen Radio. She's a queen. I mean, her fourth studio album was called Queen, and it was definitely for a reason. And I am so excited to have her on this list. So now we are going to talk about Alicia Keys. Such a talented, amazing artist. I am just in awe of every single performance that she's in. She pours her heart, she pours her soul, and it's just an amazing thing. She hosted the Grammys 2 years in a row. I mean, what even female person, let alone a Black female, you know, that is setting the record straight on everything. And I think it's just an amazing, amazing show of character. And she does so much for the community. She fights AIDS in children since 2015. She is just one of the most iconic individuals. I mean, come on, no one. I'm not going to sing for you right now, but she is also an actress and a director. She directed a film called 5. She was one of the 5 stories that she held. So I'm going to move on. I love Alicia Keys, but we have to talk about #2, Rihanna. Come on. Did you think she was not going to be on this list? Rihanna, come on, seriously. We need that new album, Rihanna. I'm going to use this time to just say, Rihanna, hurry up. I'm tired of the games. I'm tired of the, you know, things that you're playing. 4 years after the album, seriously, we got to have a new one. I am tired of it. Rihanna, you know, she's been focused on her Fenty Beauty, and that's just taking global domination at this point. So you know what? We got to give props to her as well. And you know, favorite song, Love on the Brain, just love it. And you know, I think she's one of the oldies that's turning into a newbie, and it's just amazing how young she was in the start of the business. So now I'm going to talk about honorable mentions before we hit the #1. Not very known in the U.S. demographic, but we talk about Leanne Pinnock from Little Mix, and come on, I'm a fan of Little Mix, I have to mention her, but seriously, she is a businesswoman, an international diva, and we may not know her as well in the U.S., but she is killing it worldwide in Little Mix, and you know, she is breaking those stereotypes of being in a girl group and being a Black person in a girl group, and she's talked about, you know, going through anxiety and going through depression from being the only Black girl in the girl group. So, and she, you know, girl climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. I think she can do anything. She has her own business called In a Seashell, a bathing suit line that promotes feminism, and it's just a beautiful thing. I love you, Leanne. But let's talk about #1. And who do y'all think it is? Seriously, Beyonce. Beyonce is one of, if not the most inspirational divas in the world. So we have to acknowledge that she is her own woman, and not just Jay-Z's wife. And I actually think it's Beyonce's husband and Jay-Z. So, started out in Destiny's Child, and then she was obviously the clear favorite with Michelle Williams and Kelly Rowland. And we have to talk about, she was the clear favorite. I love Kelly Rowland. She's also a cool favorite. But Beyonce has set the record. She's performed at the Super Bowl. Her performance last night made me weep like a child, I felt like. You know, and you know, we also have to talk about Blue Ivy, her daughter, how much of a legend she is already, just freaking Beyonce's daughter. Like, what? All of her, just Beyonce in general, just giving that essence to Blue Ivy. And I am so proud to have all these women to be able to talk about these women. And so that is all I have for today. But when we get back, we are spilling all the tea on Broadway's newest drama. So stay tuned.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back. So last Thursday, a revival production of Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim's seminal musical West Side Story opened on Broadway. Now, we all know and love the story of the Sharks and the Jets battling it out in New York City while star-crossed lovers Tony and Maria fight for their love. It's one of the greatest stories ever told. But this production does things a little bit differently, and not everyone's happy about it. So we're going to break it down for you. So first of all, this production is directed by Ivo Van Hove, who's a pretty well-known avant-garde director in the Broadway scene. And what he did with this production is said, I'm not going to tell West Side Story the way it's been told before. Number one, I'm cutting I Feel Pretty.
Which is just wrong.
Which
is it is the
so
most iconic song.
But it kind of makes sense. He wanted to do this really gritty retelling, and he sort of modernized it and made it. Not everyone in the Jets is white like they are in the film. Everybody, there's a bunch of different people from all different cultures represented, which I think is important. But they're sacrificing some of what I think makes West Side Story West Side Story. Exactly.
West Side Story is nostalgic. You want to see I Feel Pretty.
We're not seeing I Feel Pretty. We're not seeing the Somewhere Ballet, and we're not seeing the first time in history that an American production hasn't featured Jerome Robbins' choreography, which is the snapping, like when they're doing those jumps and stuff. That is so iconic.
At the end of the day, though, you have to respect his artistry. Like he's trying to do something different with it, but it's such an iconic show that it's hard to do that at the same time.
Yes, and he also has these projections behind the performers. The stage is pretty much bare for most of the show, and then you can see like the performers doing their thing, and then they're projected behind them, which I don't know if I like that. Sometimes it's tasteful, but there's been a lot of mixed reviews about this production because they say like it overwhelms from the people, but that's not even the most of the controversy surrounding this production. The real thing surrounding the controversy here is when the production opened, there were 100 people at least protesting Amar Ramasar, who is the actor who plays Bernardo. He was a former principal dancer at the New York City Ballet. Then in 2018, he was fired and then reinstated because he shared explicit photos of his girlfriend with other members of the ballet company.
That is right. It's tricky because a law in 2019 made sharing private pictures a misdemeanor and has more serious consequences, but the crime happened before the law passed, so it doesn't apply. He hasn't apologized, but said it was poor judgment and a mistake to learn from.
Yep, and his girlfriend said that she has forgiven him, but she's been caught up in other causes, like including one with ballerina Alexandra Waterbury, who attended the protest.
Yeah, so a lot of people, all those protesters, they had signs, they said, get this guy out of the production. He represents stuff that we don't want represented in the show. He sexually harassed these women. He went to trial. It's been controversy since 2018 surrounding this guy. Here's where I stand. things like this happen all the time in the workplace, and that's shameful. They shouldn't be happening, but hire someone else. If you're literally going to have protesters at your opening night, just the production companies come out and said, we're not going to fire him. We're going to stand our ground.
At the end of the day, what do you want to be remembered for?
The show doesn't need the bad publicity when they could hire someone else with just as much talent.
This whole revival's legacy is going to be Amar Ramaswamy in this scandal. And there's the movie coming out in later 2020. I'm ready for that, and I'm ready for it to overshadow this production.
It will. Well, when we get back, we're giving you the entire rundown of Fashion Month.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Well, Fashion Month is nearing an end, and of course that means there are plenty of trends to take note of. Not sure where to begin though? Not to worry. I have compiled a list of some of the biggest trends that we are seeing over and over again, not only on the runways, but in street style as well. So starting out, we have this trend of knitwear, and it's kind of going one of two routes. It's either really slim and chic, like we see in this all blue look from Carolina Herrera, or it's going to be chunky, over-the-top voluminous. Here we see Dolce & Gabbana really taking it to the next level with this head wrap, scarf, shawl situation that goes on into a dress. So the common theme here, though, is a turtleneck. These have been around for a while now, and it appears that they're going to continue.
Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, this one with like the wrap,
Dolce &
that
Gabbana.
is me on a snow day.
Here
when
in
it is
Kent.
so cold in Kent, Ohio. Mood. But I really love the middle one, the blue one. Like it is so slimming on her.
It's gorgeous, yes.
And like the detail they added like right here really like it gives her shape and like slims her.
Caroline
like,
Herrera, truly, she never disappoints. And so going on, another big trend that we're seeing is a lot of fringe and a lot of feathers. So here we do see the turtleneck kind of tying in though with this Oscar de la Renta dress, where we have this turtleneck and then it extends into this big gorgeous feather skirt for the gown. I especially love this cape on Bella Hadid. This was also Oscar de la Renta. It was gorgeous, those feathers, amazing. But I know feathers and fringe, those can be some polarizing looks. So what are your thoughts?
So Bella Hadid, Little Red Riding Hood right now, but make it fashion.
Make it chic.
This fringe, I haven't seen it done like this before. Like I really like the color of the dress. It's really beautiful. I don't know if I like fringe.
I don't know how I feel about fringe. I'm a little bit hesitant.
Sometimes
it's like been slowly creeping back into fashion. I don't know that it's something I'm going to hop on board with, but people can make it cool, and I like the take of it to make it like that lilac look, especially with the matching shoe, which actually kind of goes into our next trend of monochromatic looks. So this is something that I kind of feel like it comes and goes every few years, but this year it is definitely trending. So of course, some of the most iconic street style photos of Fashion Month came from Milan, where Cara and Ashley, who by the way are my absolute favorite couple right now, love them together, they attended the Boss show in head-to-toe monochromatic looks. So Ashley, we have this gorgeous like off-white blazer dress situation, and then Cara has that suit set, all purple. I loved it.
I have to agree. I really love like that
They look
dress,
phenomenal.
trench coat look. Like it's
Yes.
really cute, and it's super flattering on her. Like how it's like cinched right here, kind of. I really like that tan ones.
That tan,
yeah,
Eva
yeah.
Chen, yes, she always just
Super
comes
wearable.
looking amazing every fashion week, of course. And then another big trend with kind of going off of that is this suiting, very tailored, borrowed from the boys blazer sort of look, like what Ashley and Cara did with their monochrome looks. So now, of course, you know I'm gonna love this street style photo of a zebra print take on it, just, you know, my love for animal print. But there are really so many ways you can go with this trend. It actually pairs really well, like we said, with the monochromatic trend, since you do already have, you know, like the jacket, the pant. So like you can see with this blue look, it's done very well. One thing I really did love too was Coco Rocho. She took the leather route for the trend. So you can see in the corner there, that orange jacket, it's leather, and
I love that orange jacket. It's perfect.
Yes.
Like in the summer, I don't know why I'd be wearing a coat in the summer, but I would for fashion. And it would be super cute in the fall. Like that burnt orange is like one of my favorite colors.
I hope to see that color getting bigger as we go into the fall and winter. I really do.
And the zebra, oh my gosh, that is so amazing. That would pair well with like
anything.
like
Animal print's a neutral.
Sunglasses, like wow.
Yeah, well, so going off of, you know, with that kind of leather take on things, we also have been seeing a lot of leather in these poof-sleeved, kind of like prairie dress-inspired Victorian era type look. So here we see this all brown look at Jill Sanders, and then this more colorful one that we saw at Fendi. And I have to say I love them both. You know, like those big billowy voluminous sleeves, they have been trending for a hot minute now, several summers in a row, but we don't see as much of them in the wintertime. So I think taking that leather is just a really nice update to take it into these cooler months.
I like how they made that one like a pale orange. That is not like a typical color you see in
No.
leather. And it's really interesting how they like started it like off the shoulder, like down lower
It's
on
that
the
Victorian
arm.
style, yeah.
That's just not something you really see too often. And I like how like gives you that like that preppy look, you know?
Yeah.
Not
Well, we have been seeing it pretty
Victorian.
often, you know, because it's been in fashion.
You just said that.
It's okay. They're just, it's a good look. Well, that is all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to follow our social media accounts at TV2 The Blurb.
Yes, and tune in next week at 9.
Wizard, roll for deceasedness.
My Dark Wizard casts Super Fireball.
The wizard has only rolled an 8.
What? This is
garbage!
Spell.
No way a
Level
roll like that
10.
doesn't hit a level 1
I
goblin.
have
Are you
7.
serious? You gotta be.
What
It's
is
just
going
a
on?
baby goblin.
Cease your quarreling, children.
What?
What are you doing, you crazy monster?
Nanny?
Oh my
What?
You should stop being nerds and playing D&D and be nerds and watch All Systems Go Wednesdays at 9, where we talk everything from movies, games to anime and more.
Yeah,
No,
seems
yeah.
reasonable.
Go watch All Systems Go.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.